Well, good morning to you, gentlemen. And it's a lovely day today. The actual sun is shining, at least for a short while, before probably the clouds, the rain, and the gales come along. So the question is do we in the European and Western worlds live in a gynocentric society? In other words, does the society favor femons over males? Well, that's pretty damn easy to answer, don't you think? At least in my mind. So really we've been living in a gynocentric society for a very long time. And society favors femons. It favors them in the law courts. They have far more entitlement than a male does, in every sort of situation. Free handouts from the government to make their life a lot easier. Loads of help organizations set up just for femons. If they're having a rather heavy period, there's a help organization for that, and a phone number. And it's free. So it seems kind of funny that the femons are fighting for equality, supposedly, when they already have far more equality than a male does. And of course there's been a push for many years now to silence any criticism about femons at all. The double standards is almost like black and white. Femons don't have the rules and regulations a male has to adhere to. A male has to also have standards, whereas femons don't have any. They don't need them. So society basically treats all males as almost third-class citizens. And most femons treat males as, well, even worse than that. And yet, when the shit hits the fan, it's the males they come to. And a lot of men are getting sick and tired of playing dog's body to society and to femons. And they're opting out. What keeps society moving and running are mostly males. Femons can go on strike if they want, and nothing will happen. And that has been proven, because femons are all about virtual signaling. The double standards in society is no more prevalent than today. A lot of femons have been put into reasonably powerful positions that they didn't earn to get there. They got there because they were just a femon. And femons in those positions always generally push the femon agenda. Take a look at a lot of the films by femon directors or femon writers. They can't write something for everybody. They can only write it for femons and to push femons. If there's a femon director directing a film, it'll always have the femon propaganda. Because they're not really directors or writers, they're activists. And they don't understand why people don't find it entertaining. There's nobody else that's important as they are. You see, femons produce something for themselves and their own little circle. These people that were hired in these companies for diversity and to make things more equal are generally always femons. But if you ever notice at the end of the day, it's completely the opposite what they create. Generally, it's always alienated males. That's always a given. And they pick certain groups that they want to be with them and certain groups not to be with them, depending on who they're using at the time. And at the end of the day, there's far less equality. And more people are alienated. So what are these femons really pushing? More smoke and mirrors, guys. Any gynocentric society will eventually fail. And we see signs of it already. You see, I don't think anybody anymore believes that feminists just want equality. They want something far more sinister than that. When a company or system has been infected by feminism, it usually shows itself as wokeness. Because wokeness is pushing femons' ideology only. And unfortunately it never works for very long. Hence the saying, get woke, go broke. I mean, look how many femon programs there are, like The View, Loose Women, where these femons can get together and just sit there and talk about things they usually don't know anything about, for hours on end, and say nothing. Maybe cause some drama, which of course is what it's all about. It doesn't actually produce anything, except a load of hot air, and all they're doing is virtual signaling. Well, of course, that's why a lot of the infrastructure of society is broken. Because you can't fix something by just talking about it. You have to come up with a plan, take action. Throughout my time on this planet, I've noticed that males are doers, femons are talkers. So I guess in 2024 the deterioration of society will continue. But the funny thing is that femons are suffering more than males because of it. But they're still blaming males, of course, even though it was their own doing. So sit back, guys, get some beers and some munchies in, and watch the show.